Water department's in warrant, yeah.
Yes, and
I know I got it written down.
February 1st. Chance, Katie.
that's okay.
I'm just waiting.
It's fine.
There you go.
Oh, here we go. So let's call this meeting to order at 6:31. Charlene, do you want to do the roll call, please?
Doug Thompson,
I am still here.
good. Katie Knutson.
Here.
Richard Anthony.
Here.
Ted Carves is excused.
Yeah, he's gonna be 15 minutes
He's
late.
going to be late.
Late.
Yes.
Margot Collins.
Here.
Larry Gladhill.
Here.
Nolan Pelletier.
Here.
John Sherman is excused.
I have not heard from him, so he's
Okay.
not excused.
Jada Roche.
Here.
And I assume that Tyler's not coming either.
I have not heard from Tyler.
I haven't heard from Tyler. So.
Okay.
All right, so let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Charlene, thank you as always for the minutes.
There is a glaring error that the meeting date on the minutes is the 15th, and it was actually the 16th. It's okay.
Well, that's
I
an
will
easy
fix that.
Make a motion to approve the December 16th meeting minutes as are.
Second.
Any discussion in regards to the minutes from the last meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any abstain? I'm assuming no.
One abstention.
Larry wasn't here. All right, thank you. So the first thing on the agenda is we never got to the water budget, which is presented today. So this is an enterprise fund, correct, Jay?
Yes, this is an enterprise fund. It's outside of the operating budget. It's its own, basically its own budget.
So it's 100% self-supporting and doesn't cost us anything.
Correct.
Just wanted to clarify that.
We're 100.
I know Greg's not here, but, so last year the budget was 510. Year to date, we spent about just under 380. It's actual year to date. I don't know what month that is through.
So we have
This is
So
the
there's-
actual
there's a-
for,
Go ahead, Nolan. Go ahead, Nolan.
so there's $130,000 that hasn't been spent yet.
Yeah.
yeah, so you can see some of it's payroll.
How much of that's payroll?
Some of it's payroll because it's 85 and we've only expended 12,000 out of it. So
So what's what are we looking for the end of the year? We're gonna end up with 100,000.
Is that a salary position or is that outside labor?
it's the water superintendent position.
Yeah.
I can't hear what you're saying, actually.
It's the water superintendent position.
What's the water superintendent position?
That's
Salary
the
position.
salary
Is
position.
it a new
for-
position or?
No, it's
No.
always been there. That's the person in charge of the water department.
Yes. So how's that different? Who is the water superintendent?
That is town manager.
Okay.
And since we've established the water department, it has been the town manager. So
So what are we on? What's the estimated end of the year? What are we looking at? I mean, we have 130 and you're saying some of that's salary. So what are we looking at towards the end of the year? This is September? This is the actual year to date, current? Like this is current?
This was November.
It's November.
Yeah.
So what do we think is going to end up in that account?
So you're probably looking around around 400.
So even though it's an enterprise fund, it's really eye-opening to see a $130,000 variance from 1 month ago.
Yep.
Not to put the burden on Jay. But,
Will the water or the town manager be joining us tonight?
Not tonight. No.
Not tonight? Okay.
So typically,
I mean, it
and-
says in our policy manual that he's supposed to be present at these meetings.
right, and you mentioned that last meeting. He
Yeah, I
wasn't
did.
able to be here tonight. So,
I mean, it must be.
so
nice
as
to work
far
3
as
days a week.
the water department goes, typically, and I believe when we established this, the intention of this is the leftover funds goes towards capital, future improvement, future expansion. So there is capital, the additional or the surplus that's in this will go back into expansion of the water line.
I've heard this.
over
Is there any proposed expansion? Because I haven't heard.
At this time, there is no proposed expansion. I believe the last update we had from the engineer was they were working on, like, they called it the Southern Loop. It's over by Kingston Road, that area. So we can find out when that plan would be available.
so out of this 510 from last year and the 512 that's proposed, it's all self-efficient, right? So it all comes from those
Yes.
that tap into the water, not from the taxpayer?
The revenue generated
I would
that
guess would
runs
fall
this
under the
entire
payroll,
budget
but-
is through the water subscribers
And
and the fire suppression subscribers. So those are mostly commercial entities in town, and then the residential people that are hooked up to the line. So this isn't funded by taxpayer
Yeah.
through the operating budget. This is a separate budget.
Jay, would you be able to help explain on line 310, it's the WD purchase of water. What does that actually mean?
Which line did you say?
310, first page is the 5th line up. WD purchase of water. We have an overage of the 23,000 this year.
My 310 line item.
3310.
Fourth line.
3310.
Oh, okay.
Lots of 310s.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, there's lots of 310s. Which one?
Yeah.
30?
3310,
So
purchase of water.
So we need to,
Chester.
on a yearly basis, there is a water purchase that we need to make. So we keep in a set number of gallons flowing through the system.
And is the overage just due to larger consumption or?
It could be. I can't answer that, so I don't know that detail.
In regards to this, I know it's a different, it's outside of the budget for all intensive purposes. It's by itself, but, so this is 100% self-sustaining, everything brought in from the sale of water to, is what funds this. So,
Yes.
so how does that come? This becomes part of the budget, operating budget, and it comes out of that, its own enterprise account?
It's an enterprise account, basically. So all that money goes in through the enterprise and comes out through the enterprise account. It doesn't pass through the operating budget.
No, so this
So
512.
you'll see when we do the warrants every year, there's two separate warrant articles. One's for the town's operating budget to operate the town, and the other one is to operate the water department itself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted clarification on that. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to point out, these speakers don't radiate through the room, and sometimes I have to really strain to hear you. You're very soft-spoken.
I have never really been called soft-spoken, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I do value the things you have to say, so I just wanted to let you know I'm having a hard time sometimes hearing you, that's all.
I will try to speak up.
We can
Noted.
turn off the overhead projector.
Yeah,
I think,
That's really loud.
I don't think we're projecting anything.
Glad Jay's here. So Jay, this budget, even though you're not at the microphone, the total cost is dispersed amongst the, those hooked up to the system?
Yes. Oh, that made a
That's
big
a lot
difference.
better.
I know.
Can you please repeat your question?
I suppose. So the $512,000 we're asking for, that's dispersed amongst those people that are hooked up to the system?
And the commercial.
In the commercial.
And the commercial.
Yeah,
So the revenue is brought in by the subscribers, the residential subscribers and the commercial subscribers to the water suppression system. That revenue runs this budget.
Okay, so there's no impact on the taxpayer, other than those that are hooked up?
What's in that enterprise account currently? The total, do you know offhand?
I don't know the total off the top of my head.
Would
I
the
don't
town
have that
manager know
number.
that?
Make a motion to approve the water department budget of $512,504.
Second.
All right, any further discussion?
I just have a question about the staff associated, as needed staff, administration, project coordinator. Has there been any talk about building out staff and project coordinators and things like that?
Yeah, I've asked at meetings myself to, is there someone that's going to do some marketing to help expand or market the folks that are along the water line? So there is circumstances where town staff would help in that case, but that would come out of this budget.
And just more of a generic question. If there was going to be, let's say, part-time positions created, what's the town's policy on that? Do they have to post notice somewhere saying that we're looking to fill a position, or do you just sort of create a position ex
far
nihilo
as-
and hire somebody?
As far as the water department, where this water superintendent would probably come up with a plan and bring it to the selectmen, because we are the water board as well. So if that were the case, then it would be presented to the board, and then we'd come to an agreement, and then they would post the position somewhere.
But the position would be posted?
Yes, it would be
because if
posted
somebody-
like town webpage, the newspaper, to try to hire someone
Okay.
in that.
Second.
Any other conversation in regards to the water budget? All right, all in favor as proposed?
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstains? All right, thank you. So now we're into the warrant article phase. Jay, you and your committee did a great job 2 weeks ago, so 8 days ago, to go through this. Thank you for asking several questions. The one you didn't get to is operating budget, obviously, because you didn't have a budget from us to discuss.
Correct.
And as of today, we don't have a default budget, so which is kind of,
We're really hoping to have that number for tonight, to have that done, but it won't be available till next week,
and that doesn't,
unfortunately.
oh, that's fine. It doesn't change what's been proposed. The default budget is good for the tax voter, and they show up, they have an option of the higher of the two. So the current operating budget, as mathematically calculated, I think based on Charlene's calculation here, trusting your math, Charlene.
This is, the town manager put this together based on meeting minutes and, adjustments made from the selectmen and what was approved by the budget committee, so.
So the current proposal is $14,103,949 as the current operating budget for Plastow for the upcoming season. And that's on every budget we've previously reviewed, voted on, and passed. Historically, at least in the few years I've been here, the default budget's been within 2 to 3% of the operating budget. And the taxpayer will have option to either vote for the higher of the two.
I move to reduce the operating budget or Article P 2602 by $200,000.
I'll second
Second,
it.
right. Can you explain why 200,000?
Yeah, I think it's too high.
Okay.
200,000 is sort of in the historical realm of what the
Overage has been, yeah.
no,
Surplus.
the audited financials, the surplus would be. We don't have, it's worth noting again for anyone that's watching, we don't have audited financials for 2024. So, it's just added to the list of things that we don't have toolbox wise.
I believe they're still in process with the auditor, so
Yeah, but that's late in the game.
just to clarify.
Yeah, but that's late
all.
in the game.
That's
All right.
your opinion, but
No, actually, no, it isn't. It is late
But
in the game.
it's,
And the reason that we said it was late in the game is that there was some argument about it was more complicated because there was a federal grant component.
okay.
I don't think that's been identified. Like, what's complicated about a grant? Okay, so I guess, are we looking at something where there's an adverse opinion of some kind? Well, we don't have it. We should have had it. So is there an adverse opinion that we're trying to work around?
We'll find out soon. So
Well,
when it comes to federal,
right.
when it comes to federal audits, there's a lot.
What monies, we were given a list of revenues, what particular revenue source is causing this problem?
Those federal,
Which federal ones?
federal and state grants. I don't have that revenue in front of
Oh,
me.
it was federal. We didn't. no
So
one
there
said
was,
state grants.
so, relax, Jesus. So during COVID, the town received federal funding. We had till the end of '24 to expend, the end of '24 to expend that money. So that's most likely why the audit is, they're trying to finalize that piece.
So we're saying that the federal money that we received, the COVID money, is what's holding up the routine audit?
I can't tell you for certain, but
It's part of the problem.
We don't know that. It's
No, I do. So government audits take almost twice as long as a traditional audit. So when you have federal audits, they take, instead of 50 hours, could take 100 hours.
It's not a federal audit. This is a
Well,
standard audit.
Federal
for the town.
compliance, federal compliance on how the money was expended. So the audit does take longer. I'm not going to say that's the reason for the holdup. I'm saying federal audits take longer if there's federal funding.
So to summarize, we don't know why it's being held up. All right. It's, this is a theory that.
it hasn't been finalized, so we haven't had the final report yet.
Okay. Well, it would be great if the town manager.
I can ask them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
We're having a meeting currently though, so.
I can ask you tomorrow and send you guys a response. How's that?
We put it out on the website, an amended video for anyone that wants to watch, get the answer to that question.
Or you can, if you'd like. I'll get you the information.
Motion
Nice
been
that the
made and
budget committee
seconded.
did it.
So, Jay, not to pick on you, do we have any expectation when the audit will be complete?
I don't know for certain at this point,
Okay,
so we can find out.
sorry.
Motion's been made and seconded to reduce the budget by 200,000.
All right, any further discussion in regards to Richard's proposal?
I don't know. Did he
He made
finish?
it. Oh, yeah, he made a.
We got
proposal.
sidetracked
We're
on
in
the
we're in
audit. Was there anything
discussion
else you
phase.
wanted to add?
No. So the question was asked why I said 200,000.
Yep,
All right. And it was pointed out that that is historically in the ballpark of what
the surplus. yeah.
surpluses look like. But we don't know what that looks like for 2024 because we're still in a never-ending audit that should have been done back
Well-
in June. So
So the surplus in 2024 was 300,000, correct, Jay?
Just under 300,000.
So we know that factually because the Board of Selectmen made an option to reduce the property tax going forward. So we know factually the 300,000 was the surplus last year.
Roughly.
Okay. So any further discussion? So we know factually 300,000 is the measuring stick.
we know that that's the unaudited number, yes. But they
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
to use.
Usually audit just confirms the numbers are accurate. They're not confirming the math. Just speaking from my point of view. I don't
Are you
disagree.
downplaying your whole enterprise as a CPA?
And I'm just a member of a board with 8 equal individuals. So,
And I just to add to that, like, the town runs a pretty slim budget.
Yeah.
Year after year, our surplus, probably in the last 6-7 years, it's been around $300,000. It's gone up over the last few years. So anywhere from 11 to now $14 million. It's, we've always had that little buffer of, I know $300,000 sounds like a lot of money, but in a $12 million budget, it's a very small window to work with.
I would disagree saying that we run a very slim budget. Again, bringing up the town next to us is about same size, same population. They have a budget about 7.25, which is about half.
It's a different town.
Oh,
It's a different.
so let's get back
are
to.
we twice the town that
Yeah.
Atkinson is? Yes. I
We're not in
mean,
Atkinson, we're
So
Plastow.
let's get back to
No
the motion.
kidding.
So we have a motion on the floor.
So
Richard make a good point, which reflects the historic surplus.
but also the selectmen, we take that surplus and we help offset the tax rate. Now, $100,000 only knocks off 7 cents on the tax rate. So we try to put that plus any additional that we see fit to help offset the tax rate. So typically,
I just don't
$100,000 equates to 7 cents on the tax rate.
I mean,
1,000
per
I
thousand.
just don't see how voting on this, you're taking away from the 3 most important things, highway, police, and fire.
how are we doing?
And the only way, they have nothing left to give from the budgets that we were presented. All they're going to do is, they'll have to stop services. And I'm not willing to do that to the people in this town.
Well,
That statement is completely untrue.
I'm sorry if you disagree with me, that's my
I
opinion.
do disagree with you.
And
So we have a
opinions like belly
so,
buttons.
Margot, so I understand your point. I understand Nolan's point. The taxpayer have ultimate say. So we have a
That is
motion.
correct.
We have a motion on the floor. So we can either accept or oppose Richard's proposal. The taxpayer will have say in 3 months on whether or not they want to go with the higher budget or the default budget.
I agree. You asked if there was any further discussion or opinions, and I gave my opinion.
And I'm just trying to smooth out the timeline here. So any other conversation regarding to Richard's proposal?
I don't think it's enough, but other than that,
So all in favor of Richard's proposal of reducing the budget by 200,000, being mindful last year's surplus was 300,000? Any opposed? All right, there you go.
All right,
So the next budget,
we have to.
what was that? Is there
We
any
still have to do
extensions?
our operating.
What was that vote count?
what? It was 3 to 4?
5
3
to
to 5. Sorry, Katie.
We still have to make a motion to approve this budget, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the operating budget of $14,103,949.
Now, do I have a second to accept the budget as proposed?
Second.
Thank you, Larry. Any discussion in regards to the budget that's proposed? All right, all in favor of the budget as is proposed? Any opposed? Any abstained? Same count, Charlie, just to reverse.
Yep.
So the next warrant article is the Water Department to release $512,504 to be appropriated and withdrawn from the enterprise fund. It's the budget we just approved. The taxpayer, again, has final vote on this when it comes to the election in March.
Do you want to wait and vote on the operating budget warrant article?
So we have an option, so until we have the default?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, Jay.
Okay. So
So if we table this budget, we have to wait until we have the default budget, and we can vote before the public hearing on January 13th.
you can have a meeting next week or do it at the before the public
I
hearing.
would rather come in 15 minutes or a half hour before the public meeting instead of drawing 12 people's attention to a meeting to vote on one task, unless the budget committee feels different.
I mean, I'm just
What are
going
we
to say
talking
that
about? Is this PB 2603 you're talking about?
No, they're talking-
No, we're talking about.
I'm sorry,
one
Jay,
before,
the
up to.
one we just passed. Jay wants to table it until we have the actual default budget?
No,
You
you've
just
asked-
already
No, I'm
voted.
asking, do you want to vote on it now?
You just did.
No, you
Yeah.
voted to approve it. Now it's,
Now we have to
now the number is
recommend it.
official. We plug it into the warrant article.
Do you want to vote on the warrant article as your proposal? Is your comment?
I'm asking you how the board wants to proceed.
I think this board is just going to vote yes anyway, so we should just get it over with. I mean, it's, if you can go back to every meeting and you can see that this board has unanimously just voted yes and stamped everything through. So I say we waste no time and we just do it right now.
Any other comments or thoughts on that?
No.
It's either we meet a few minutes before the public hearing on January 13th, or we can pass it as it is.
I'm comfortable voting on it now.
Any thoughts, Richard, Ted, Larry?
I'm going to vote no on it. So however you want to
Either way, so, yeah. so-
procedurally move this thing along is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should just move forward with the vote, doing it kind of a shotgun approach before the actual
Well,
public session.
Well, the default budget is mathematically is what it is. We have no control, like enterprise fund for the water. It's a legal obligation. We have no control over it, so we can vote yes. We can vote
sense
no.
just
It's
to
not
do it,
legally
but-
not going to change anything. So Article P 26-3 is the,
No, we're talking about doing the O2.
So I'll make a motion to recommend the operating budget for $14,103,949.
I'll second that.
all right, any discussion on the operating budget?
It's twice as much as our neighboring town that has a police department, has a fire department, has a highway department, has everything that we have in terms of obligations, and somehow they do it for half of what we do.
How many people do they have, though? How many personnel
About
do
the
they?
same.
Population.
Do
they?
Yes, they do.
Population they do.
No, personnel that they hire.
They seem to get by doing what they're doing.
It
We have
doesn't
a-
matter. We need facts. What's the personnel?
So
We have too many people. How about that? We have too many police. We have too much.
You have too
whatever.
many police, but you complain that there's not enough police on the road to enforce traffic laws.
I don't think I've said that. I don't think I've said
I
that.
don't think Richard said that. I
Oh.
think
Yeah.
that's
so,
been
I
a
mean,
comment
you
by
know,
some in the public that we don't have enough police. There will be specific articles in regards to the police
Yeah,
department.
it's just, $7 million. I mean, we're not quibbling over like 100,000 or something. It's like $7 million. It's too much. So, and people seem remarkably uninterested in knowing why somebody might be doing something better and more efficient. All right, so.
You can go talk to them.
I would think,
Bring some
it'd be
ideas back if you
great.
think
It'd be
they're not
great if
doing
everyone had
something
the same
different
type of
than
interest.
what we're doing.
You're
I'm
just
always
not
open to new
interested at all.
ideas.
So the chief will be here for the deliberate this year.
He wasn't here last year, so it's good that he's going to be here this year.
I'm doing my best, Rich.
Motion's been made and seconded.
So we have a motion, point noted, Richard. Any other questions or conversations about the budget as proposed?
No.
All in favor of the budget? 14 million? Any opposed? All right.
Now on to the water department, but operating.
So now we're over to Article P 26-03. That's the operating water department budget of $512,504 as proposed that we discussed a few minutes ago.
Make a motion to recommend the water department warrant article for $512,504.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Larry. Any discussion in regards to the water department article? All right, all in favor of the water department article? Any opposed?
Unanimous.
Thank you. So the next article,
What's that?
I think it was unanimous, correct?
Unanimous, yeah.
Unanimous.
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking up. I was looking
It was Charlene's chair.
8.
That's why Charlene's here. So the next article I have,
Collective bargaining agreement.
is that P 2606?
04.
04? Collective bargaining agreement, town union. So this was passed by the Board of Selectmen 5-0. The increase is what, 53,000, 24,000, 24,000?
So the town union collective bargaining was up for renewal for this coming year.
So who qualified? Who's in the town bargain? Who's in this? What employees qualify?
It's like a hodgepodge group.
All town hall employees.
Town hall employees, okay.
Yep.
So not police department, not highway.
So this is outside of the police department. So this may include highway, this may include
Highway too, okay.
recreation. It covers
So-
all town hall employees, which would, highway falls under that umbrella.
Okay.
So basically what we negotiated with the union, and we came up to this agreement that we felt was fair. And, you know, the first increase in this is, you know, it lays out the 3-year increases over time. There's a big increase the first year, but then the next year it goes down, and then slightly up again in the last year. So basically what we're raising to offset the operating budget, if this is approved, is the $40,329.
Are we going to be reopening town hall on a full-time basis with these increases?
That hasn't been discussed. So I don't have an answer for you on that.
How many hours is the town hall currently open?
The town hall is open 8 to 4, Monday through Thursday. Town employees are here 7. They work 10-hour days, so they're here. So they're doing work prior to the town hall opening so that they have time to do stuff because it's a very busy town hall. Also, the town clerk's office is open, I believe, in the evenings on Monday nights till, I believe, 7.
So they're working their 40 hours. They're just not open 40 hours.
Correct.
Okay.
Who's part of the negotiating committee, collective bargaining?
So it's typically the town manager, a selectman, and
The attorney.
the attorney, and then the attorney for the CBA or the union Teamsters, and then their union representative, so, who speaks for the members of the union.
Just, not a criticism, but just an observation. We're being asked to vote on a collective bargaining warrant article that we're not, that we don't have a seat at the table when negotiating or something along those lines. So it seems kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
I get it,
All right.
but it's a function of the town manager to negotiate any agreements, the CBAs. So
Is
We
this
can look to
salary
include-
part of this agreement or separate?
we can look to include other people in the group next time.
So what happens if this warrant fails, Jay?
My question.
So that brings up the next warrant article.
Which is the special meeting.
Okay.
SP P2605, if it's defeated, we need to have a special meeting to address the cost items in the warrant article. So we'd have to, if it failed, we'd have to get creative with, if the budget was approved, or the default budget, whichever budget's approved, we'd have to work within the confines of that.
Okay.
Jay, was there any performance indicators or metrics provided with the CBA agreement on how things will improve or what we're going to be measured against?
I can't speak to that. So that's more of the town manager. He's the one who does the performance reviews and the evaluations and puts the increases or merit increases forward. So
Be good to get answers from him if he was here tonight, but
Make a motion to recommend Article P-2604 collective bargaining agreements for the town union.
All right. Do I have a second?
a second.
Thanks, Jay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I guess I'm just,
Go ahead, Richard.
you know, again, I'm just kind of conflicted. I mean, you don't want to say no, you know, I mean, I'm inclined to say that if people want to give them, you know, memorialize this, then, you know, then the voter can vote on it. But it just, you know, it seems strange what we're being asked to vote on if we're not a party to it, and there's no granularity, there's nothing presented to us. You know, we didn't have a voice in the meeting, you know, so.
Well, the Budget Committee's charge, I believe, is developing the operating budget, right? So this is a warrant article outside of that currently. So.
And in the past, other unions have come before us on warrant articles such as the police and this one as well, that we've not been a part of the negotiations.
Yeah, but that's not a compelling argument.
So, Jay, when is this negotiated?
Within the last 3 to 4 months.
So
Negotiations are ongoing.
could this been included in the operating budget instead of a warrant article?
No, it has to.
No,
be,
we have
because
to
it's more.
ratify the renewal of the union
Yeah.
term.
Okay, so it's outside of the operating budget.
Correct.
The ratification, yes, but then these will be contractual increases into the budget over the next 3 years.
Well, right, just think from a planning point of view, if I know there's going to be an increase to my HR department and I'm writing the budget, I might consider putting this into the budget.
Yeah, it would be in the budget.
Yeah, if it passes, then it becomes part of the budget.
Comes out of the budget.
No, but if I'm planning an operation point of view and I know there's need to be a raise, I would build this into my operating budget, not
Correct.
postpone it.
But I think when you get into the weeds of collective bargaining unions and everything like that, it has to be done via a warrant article.
Okay. That's
No, I know. I'm just saying.
that's my point of confusion here. So, any other comments, discussions in regards to the operating, the proposal for the?
Yeah, I'm actually going to vote against this because I feel like I'm voting on something that I don't fully have a grasp of what was negotiated or what's agreed upon, so.
All right. So Jay, you can add clarity because I know you have the wisdom here. So regardless of how this votes, this is going to be on the ballot. So if it fails, if it's tied 4-4, if it passes 5-3, or fails 3-5.
Still on the warrant.
It's still in the.
So this is just informational for the tax voter.
Right. The Budget Committee agrees or doesn't agree with it. Or they recommend or don't recommend. Now it's on the voters to decide based on.
The Board of Selectmen, the Budget Committee, and their
Correct.
and their infinite knowledge of the tax.
So I would assume, and I will make sure we have this, I'll ask the town manager that when we have deliberative session, we will probably discuss this in detail at deliberative session because we discuss everything in detail at deliberative session.
Yeah.
So,
The language on what's proposed on the paper today is what's going to be on the warrant article?
yes, but there will be a voter's guide, which is the warrant articles, but it also has the intent around it, which we can't actually put on the warrant itself.
Correct.
It used to be done a few years ago, and then it was stopped because I don't think it was legal or something changed where we couldn't have it anymore. So we'll have a voter's guide that will have more information. So that will be available for voters to look at. So once we have the voter's guide, we'll make sure you guys get a copy of that.
Back to the chair's question, do we know if these numbers were baked into the 2026 operating budget for?
No,
No.
they're not.
So this
baked
is
in.
an additional increase to,
Yes.
Correct.
To the 14 something million, yes.
Yeah. If voters vote yes to the CBAs, then yeah. And then
So
the subsequent years, each year, that's.
So the increase for next year is for I think it's 12 positions, it's about $53,000. Out of that 53,000, we need to raise 40,000 because there is 13,000 already built into the operating budget that we've reviewed. So what that means is to make that first year $53,000, we're going to ask the voters to approve or deny $40,000 and approve the renewal of the collective bargaining agreement.
And if they don't approve it, it comes out of the general fund or it comes out of
Jay, when does the current CBA expire?
Probably
at the end of March, February.
In February.
Yep.
So you're saying for the 26, 27 line of 53,773, you're saying that affects 12 employees?
Yeah, I believe there's 11 to 12 employees that are in the collective bargaining.
Sure, if this gets voted down, no means no, they don't get raises.
All right, any other discussion in regards to the current proposal? So all in favor of the collective bargaining agreement article? All opposed?
3.
It's 5-3, Shelley.
5-3.
And then Jay, we don't have to recommend this, the special meeting because it's not a money attached.
Yeah, it's not a cost item, so we don't need to vote to recommend.
So the next will be P 26-06 contingency fund for $85,000. Jay, this is just a reserve to cover any other expenditures above and beyond. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yeah. So this was a warrant article that was put in, I don't know, I have to say 5 or 6 years ago that we've had year after year. And basically it allows us to have a mechanism for if a septic fails or a boiler fails that we're not anticipating, that we have a mechanism to replace that. And whatever is left in the fund at the end of the year, it rolls back into the general fund. So we're not always looking to spend it. So like this past year, we had to utilize some of the funds in there for, I believe, the assessing. So it was one of the main drivers of that, utilizing some of those funds. So basically, if we don't spend any of the money in that account, it will go back to the taxpayers at the end of the year.
It goes back to the general fund.
It will go back to the general fund, but it will go back as
Help offset.
an offset.
And I don't have the information in front of me. Did this pass last year by the voter?
I don't
Denied. Do you recall?
Yeah, it passed because we utilized funds from that account this year.
Yeah.
Just curious.
In order to use these funds, Jay, is it voted upon by the board?
Yeah, so what the town manager will do is he'll bring it to us, and if there's, I like to ask the question, where are we paying for this from? And he'll have an answer that says either from this line or through the contingency fund, and then we vote to approve that.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead,
I'm
Mark.
just going to point out, again, we're back to this, where it's a bottom line budget.
Yep.
That if something came up that was, in the realm, I mean, this isn't like a monstrous number. So, I mean, if something came up that was unanticipated, you could, in your hierarchy of needs, you have things that you have to pay for, things that you would like to pay for, and things that are, that are on the wish list. All right, so this is just, another just 85,000 extra that's being added on to
$14 million budget. Yeah.
onto a $14 million budget. So, I mean, I think I'm going to say vote no on it, just because, you should live, if you're going to make a budget and you've already built into a very rich budget, a certain buffer, then that's your emergency fund. You don't need an additional emergency fund.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to recommend the Article P-26-06 contingency fund for $85,000.
All right, do I have a second?
I will second it.
Thank you, Margot. Do I have any further discussion? All in favor?
Just for
Sorry,
point of
Larry.
clarification,
Yeah.
just so I hear this correct. If this money is not used, it goes back to the general fund.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
Right, but it comes out of the taxpayer now
correct.
and paid forward.
How many years since we've had it, in the past 5 years, that we've had not expended all of it? I mean, how much is it that, is there a year in particular where 85,000 is reverted
There were
back to?
three years that I recall that we didn't expend all the money in those in that. I don't have the actual number, but I know at least 3 years I can think back to that we've returned money from that. We haven't expended it all. This past year, we expended it because of the assessing.
And not to get off topic for a second, but in the supplemental guide we're going to have for the voters, it would be nice on the warrant articles or every budget line item, it shows the impact per thousand, so the taxpayer can make the educated decisions on what they're voting for.
Okay.
Now, this impacts the taxpayer by 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents per thousand,
Okay.
or by 100,000. I think if you did it by 100,000, it'd be easy for the taxpayer to translate.
Yeah.
To do it by 1,000 and then multiply, oh, my house is worth 360, that's a different number. Just so if the taxpayer has information, they may be more mindful. I know personally, when I vote on warrant articles, you get to the third, fourth, fifth one, and you're kind of exhausted on seeing your tax. So just a point of reference. So,
But yeah, just, rule of thumb is, 7 cents per 100,000. But we can put, I can look to see what we can do about adding that into the voter's guide to show you for $55,000, that's going to be
no, well, that's great.
3.5 cents
So it's
per
great.
1,000.
So it's great for this board. It's great for the 12 viewers at home. It's great for the Board of Selectmen. But we have many voters who are unaware of the math that goes involved. That gets
Right.
involved when they show up to the ballot.
Right.
It's, do you want to support this, the fire department? Do you want to support the library? Do you want to support this? But they don't really see the impact on themselves.
Right.
And kind of into that regard, because I know I sent you both an email about this, but it is a transparency thing that when I talk to a lot of the constituents, they're in that same boat. They don't understand what they're voting on and what that impact is. And, is it an ongoing cost or is it a reoccurring cost? And these are things that I think we just need to be more upfront with.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, the 25 or 50 or 500 people that participate and listen might have a comprehension, but the 5,000 voters don't mathematically, my 87-year-old mother-in-law doesn't know the math and how it impacts her.
Exactly.
So,
No,
So we have a
That's a
motion.
great idea. I'll see what we can do about adding that.
it doesn't hurt to add detail. There's no harm in adding detail. So we have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any further conversation in regards to this warrant article? All right, all in favor of the warrant article as is proposed? Actually, I'm going to change my vote, Charlene. All in favor of the article as is proposed? So it's 5. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. So the next warrant article, if I'm correct, it's Highway Department expendable trust fund of 100, I believe it's 100,000. Yep, 100,000. It's going to be deposited into the previously established Highway Department Equipment Expenditure Fund, Trust Fund. Is this the same that we committed last year, Jay? Do you know? I'm sorry to keep picking on you.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's
The 100,000.
100.
Okay.
So just as a point of information, this, the CIP did and eventually meet, and they did recommend, these are the warrant articles that were recommended.
Okay.
And the amounts, we were generally in line with the amounts that were recommended by the
CIP committee.
the CIP committee.
So what happens if we don't fund these expenditures?
So if they fail, then we don't put that money aside for the future purchase of equipment that we need to replace. So we need to make up that money over time, maybe the next year. Over the next year, well, if it's $100,000, we might need to adjust that number next year to say, all right, we're going to try to make up that $100,000 over 5 years and add $20,000 to the next year's warrant article.
If you get 5 years down the road and you don't fund that $500,000 or $1 million that you need, and you need a piece of equipment, what happens?
Then if that money isn't available and we're in dire straits and need to, we would potentially look at a bond.
Right, which we did for the ladder truck.
Yes,
If I'm not mistaken, this did not pass last year.
I don't believe it did.
I believe it failed.
Jay, is this fund an interest-bearing account?
Yes. Yeah. So we do get interest on these funds. I know there's, my understanding is with the CIP committee, there's going to be meetings going forward in January. So, I think there's going to be a closer look taken at it so we can try to come up with some actual numbers, because a lot of the, at one point in time, we had $400,000 in there for a ladder truck. A ladder truck costs $1.2 to $1.5 million nowadays.
3 years ago.
Yeah. So
2 years ago.
some of these numbers need to be adjusted. And it's a planning document. So it gives us a guide on, if we decide we don't want to do a particular one this year, we push it out a year. But these are the recommendations that we agreed to go with, so.
Based on CIP and department head, et cetera.
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion that we pass this. Article P 2407.
2607, Margot.
What's that?
2607.
I'll forgive you.
I'm sorry, I read it wrong.
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
For $100,000.
Second.
All right, all in favor, I'm sorry, any discussion in regards to the proposal?
Just that none of the trust funds have balances associated with them.
Yeah, we'll have those next week. We'll have the final numbers to plug in.
Did you have these numbers when the CIP met? Was this when the CIP committee met?
I wasn't able to attend that CIP meeting because I was traveling for work, so I don't know.
Okay.
Were you guys there?
I was.
Did you have them then?
There were some numbers, and I don't think we actually did the highway department. They said that they're doing it through you.
Okay.
So,
All right, motion's been made and seconded.
All right. That would be nice information to have, obviously. This will be obviously available when the vote, come March when we have the election. Any other discussion in regards to this proposal? All right, all in favor of this proposal for the highway department? Any opposed?
Doug, was your hand up?
Yeah.
Was that 530?
Yeah.
So the next warrant article is P 26-08, building expendable trust fund. That is $60,000.
So specifically for this one, and again, the detail will be in the voter's guide. We're looking to fund this one because we need to look to replace the handicap ramp outside. So that's what this fund specifically is going to go to next year, is to replace that.
The town hall?
Yes, the town hall handicap ramp.
Make a motion to recommend the warrant article P-2608, building expendable trust fund of $60,000.
Second.
There's a second. Any discussion? Any questions? Was this a warrant last year, Jay? Is it currently a reserve for this?
Yeah, there's a capital improvement account for the building expendable trust fund
For all buildings,
for all
not
buildings,
specifically this.
not specifically for town hall, but this year we're asking for 60. I think in years past it's been lower, like 30,000, something like that. So
So how much are we anticipating for the handicap ramp?
So as my understanding is, we've had some preliminary quotes to plug in a number. So this should be sufficient enough to do the work.
Is there enough money in the account?
Yeah, there is.
To cover
There is
this in the
additional.
past?
There is additional money in that account as well. So that would be along with the 60 that we're asking. There would be additional money that we're going to use in that account to do the work.
So, but the account currently doesn't have the money to do the work or can do the work.
It doesn't have enough to do the work.
All right, any other discussion regarding the building expenditure fund?
Yeah, I think I would have loved to have seen A, the balance, and B, maybe if there were the requests for proposals put out, or is this just
No, not
somebody
yet.
giving a guesstimate?
Not yet. Yeah, it was more of a yeah, there will be proposals put out for this.
So we don't currently have hard and fast numbers from a request for proposal?
No, we got an estimate number to work with, but
Who did the estimate?
what we're requesting is
Okay.
sufficient.
Yeah, I think I would have wanted to know that there was a request for proposal before we were, knowing what we're funding, how much it was going to cost and things like that, so.
Any other discussion in regards to the proposal? All right, all in favor of the P 26-08 for 60,000? Any opposed? Okay, guys. The next is the Library Capital Reserve Fund, P 2609, for 55,000. Again, Library Capital Reserve Fund. I think their primary problem is the roof.
No?
No, the roof's all set now?
So I don't know how many years ago this was done, but CAB at the library they had a study done where outlined things that capital improvements they need to make over a period of time. Last year, the roof was up for replacement, and there were shingles coming off the roof and stuff like that. So that fund helped. They put money away each year to fund that, and it was, I don't know, roughly around $110,000, something like that, to do the work. So.
Okay. So this is supplemental work outside of the roof.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's next on the plan. I think it should have been, it's part of the CIP, so it might be the boilers up the next couple of years, so we're putting money aside for that.
Make a motion to recommend warrant article P-2609, Library Capital Reserve Fund, for $55,000.
Second.
Any discussion? My only question, Jay, is in the supplemental guide we have for the taxpayers, would it be possible to list the need for this funds?
Yeah.
So
If you look at the
55,000
voter's guide last year, it lists some projects that they were going to.
Okay,
Put them-
I know the library is a separate entity.
No, but based on the plan that they have,
Okay.
when we do the intent, that's included in it. So I think last year's intent, it mentioned that the roof was going to be replaced.
So how was the supplemental guide shared?
The voter's guide?
Yeah.
So we generate a voter's guide and we print off a bunch of copies, and they're available on the town webpage. We send it out in an email blast, and it's also available at voting that day.
Is the whole document available online?
Yes, once it's finalized.
Okay. It's really helpful to look through the detail before you vote.
Yep.
Any other discussion in regards to library capital reserve? All right, all in favor of the proposal? Any opposed? Four.
So is that 4-4?
That's a tie.
440.
Wait a minute. That was a tie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-4.
4-4.
Deposit to Revelation Capital Reserve Fund, P 26-10. This is 25,000.
So this is
Revaluation, yeah.
for the reevaluation, the assessing reevaluation. I know people love it to have their values reassessed. Unfortunately, we have to do it every 5 years. So we're starting to put money away for the next time we need to do this in 5 years. So if we start to put $25,000 away over the next 5 years, that will give us, 100. Basically, it helps level the impact. So in 5 years, we don't add $100,000 to the budget. So this will give us a mechanism to level it over time. So you don't see those big dips, increases and decreases.
And is this in a completely separate account with interest bearing as well?
Yes. Unfortunately, this one has failed the last 3 or 4 years. So hopefully people will support that, but I'll ask that another day.
Thank you, Jay.
Make a motion to recommend Article P-26-10, the revaluation capital reserve fund of $25,000.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion in regards to the proposal? Right, and this year's contribution to, this year's, the fee that we just had last year was what, 200K?
Yes.
Yeah, so 25K over 5 years is only 125K, so it's totally
Right.
short.
So as we may adjust that next year, but it's to at least get it started.
Yeah, you
So
want to
if
see
this should fail, we may have to turn around next year and say, oh, we need
40 or 50.
40, 50.
That's why, part of the reason why you saw such a big increase in the assessing line that we ended up taking out was because we couldn't, we didn't have enough money in that fund. So we had to put it in through the operating budget. So then we removed it because we ended up doing the statistical update, which reset the clock for us.
Thank
So
you.
did it really buy us time? Did it buy us time or did it save us money doing it the way it was done?
It saved us money because we had added $250,000 to the assessing budget, which we took out before it came to the budget committee.
Right, and
So
you're-
I think in your sheets, we had the BOS approved and it should have had that. But I also gave you a list of the adjustments we made, so.
Any further discussion in regards to the reevaluation fund? All right, all in favor of the fund as proposed? Any opposed?
2.
Thank you, Katie. Next is the fire department apparatus capital account for 140K. I know this was,
5-2.
5-2.
I know originally this was proposed at
6-2.
170. Correct, Jay? This is, original proposal was 170 for this warrant article,
Yes.
and the BOS reduced it to 140 due to voter concern, budget concern.
Yeah, it came out of the CIP at 150
150.
with the ask to possibly bring it down to 100. Based on how much fire equipment costs, we settled on 140,000.
So do you have, I mean, there was a recommendation and it was done by the CIP because it was, how much was in the reserve account, I believe.
Okay.
Do you have that number?
I don't have the number off the top of my
Okay.
head.
All right.
Don't you all use a formula when it comes to vehicles and stuff in the future about like making sure you're putting back so much appropriately every year due to like increases in inflation and stuff like that with vehicles?
Yeah, there's, in the CIP document, I believe there's like a 3% inflation rate increase year after year. So there's calculations built into that document. But we have a new chair, Tim Moore, who did a great job over the last,
Yeah.
I don't know, 20 years or so.
Forever.
Yeah, has stepped away, so it's gonna, we'll see what happens over the next year or so.
What's the biggest concern for the fire department, do you know, Jay, for, as far as capital improvements?
I believe right now the biggest one is ambulance 2, the backup ambulance that we're using.
Yep.
So I don't know what, off the top of my head, what the condition it's in, but it's functioning, but at some point it's going to need to be replaced. So that's probably going to be about $500,000.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
No.
I move that we approve Article P 2611 for $140,000.
Second it.
In a second, Ted, thank you. Any discussion in regards to the proposal?
I'm going to be a no, just because I can't remember off the top of my head how much was in that account. We did have that information provided for us when we were at the CIP meeting.
Last Wednesday, yeah.
I do believe it was, and I could be misguided. I'm going just by memory. I do believe it was over 200 something thousand dollars in that account, maybe $250,000 in the account. So the ask of 150 seemed a little high at that time, considering the funds that were already in the account. Not having that information again before us is a misstep as far as I'm concerned. unfortunately did not bring my CIP in. I was just looking for, I did not have my CIP information in this folder. And just for clarification too, CIP did not, I guess it's kind of out of the purview, but we did not have anything to do with highway. That said that was being dealt 100% through the Board of Selectmen. So that did not come through the CIP committee. I just wanted to make that clear. So I'm going to be a no on this one, just for those reasons stated. And then if we want, we have that information, and I could really recall off the top of my head, but I do remember there being quite substantial amount of funds in that reserve, and that was the ask to kind of at least knock that one thing down.
I just, in the context of a $14 million budget and no, just complete intransience, try to find any type of savings, and then to put all this stuff on the back end of it, I'm just same friction as before. It's not comfortable.
Well, and that's why a lot of this stuff is a warrant article, because we're leaving it in the hands of the taxpayers to make the decision. Do you want us to put money aside to replace a vehicle in 5 years or not? These vehicles, unfortunately, cost a lot of money, but that's what this is meant to do. It's a planning ahead for future replacement of equipment. So, we hope the plans we put in place are solid, and, we get the support from the taxpayers. And if we don't, then we readjust the plan and work forward from there.
Who puts together the voter's guide? Beth usually does. So it would be Audrey this year. And does the Board of Selectmen or the Budget Committee or the town manager have insight or
Yes.
influence over that?
So what will happen is they'll put together a draft.
Yeah.
We'll review it and make adjustments in a meeting.
Okay.
And then once we agree on that's the final draft, then we'll publish it out.
Can I participate in that this year?
I don't see why not.
I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you. The committee as a whole.
But we would, obviously, once that's finalized, we'll send it to the budget committee to review. So,
Just trying to add more detail. Because as Nolan and Richard pointed out, there are many lapses in information tied to really approve a warrant, and you don't know what the reserve fund is. So I know the voters will have final say in that, but it is it's nice to know, is there $1 available or $1 million available? So.
well, I can tell you there isn't $1 million.
I know it's not $1 million. I know it's not $1, but when you're trying to evaluate the proposal that's in front of you, it's nice to know what the reserve is.
And I know, and I get no one's point. $250,000 is a lot of money.
Well, it's nice to
But
know
as we're
if you had
putting it
inventory.
away, as you're putting it away for the next couple of years, we need to be able to have, if
The recent engine that I believe you all just approved to purchase was $1.1 million.
correct. And we gotta,
And we needed a bond because it wasn't funded.
No, that was
The
not
ladder
that.
truck. I'm talking
it
about
was
the ladder truck.
No,
a ladder truck. So this past year, we got a grant for $900,000 to replace engine 1.
Yep.
So we used money from the apparatus. I think some of the funds in there will be used to pay that once, but it's going to be 40 months before we get it. So the money will sit there until we pay the final bill.
And again, it would be great to have the town manager as stated as a policy in our policy manager manual, because he should have this information at his fingertips. So if we're going to conduct business, we should be doing it in a manner that's efficient. And I know that doesn't seem to be happening, but moving forward, it should happen that way.
All right, so we have a motion. Do you have a second? All in favor of the proposal of $140,000 being set aside for the apparatus for the fire department?
4, 5.
All opposed? Any abstained?
I'm abstaining.
So what's that?
520.
520.
521.
521.
Sorry.
Math is tough. Next is the deposit into the fire department equipment capital reserve of 30,000, Article 26-12. So Jay, pretend I don't know anything about the fire department. What's the difference between equipment and apparatus?
Apparatuses, vehicles,
Equipment is hoses and
equipment, and it's
Radios.
the medical equipment. So like AEDs or heart monitors.
Thermometers, yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's equipment like that they'll use to put in the vehicles.
Like
I thought the radios fell under that as well.
No, they have their own warrant
No,
article.
That's the.
Yeah, there's
radio.
a
26
separate
Different one, I'm
radio.
sorry.
It's the next one.
Try to keep them separated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is to purchase equipment for those vehicles.
I'll make a motion to approve P 26-12 in the sum of $30,000.
Second.
Thank you, Ted and Larry. Any
Sorry, who was the
discussion?
second?
It was Larry.
Okay, Larry.
Sorry.
Any discussion in regards to the fire department equipment reserve? 30,000? All right, all in favor of the equipment reserve? Any opposed? Any abstained? Thank you. So the next is the fire department capital reserve for the radio, which is 2613. This is an ongoing situation where we're reserving funds to replace everything at the fire and PD.
Yeah, so this is their portable radios that they carry on them. Basically, they look to replace three to four of them a year. They're like $6,000 to $8,000. I think the chief has a agreement with a vendor to replace these radios every year on an annual basis. So this is ongoing. Typically, we ask for this every year because there's 3 to 4 that need to be replaced.
So when they turn in a radio, let's say that whoever the vendor is comes and picks up 2 radios, is there any credit back to the town for the
Turn-in
turn-in value?
disposal.
I think a lot of the time they're so beat up they don't really have much value.
Or plus technology
Yeah,
change.
I can find out. I can't,
I was
can't
just
answer that
wondering.
off the top of my head. But
Do you know how many radios there are total?
How many firemen are there?
I think there's
Is it just the chief and the officers? Is it?
No,
It's all of
everyone.
It is
all of
everyone.
them.
Oh, they're full-time.
Yeah.
So it's done like 4, 4, and 4, what, 5, 5, and 5,
Well, this year it's going to be, I believe what they've been doing is 3 to 4 a year.
3 to 4 a year.
Yeah.
How much does each one cost?
Between $6,000 and $8,000.
Yeah.
Because I'm just questioning why something like this then is a CIP item. I mean, it's usually there's a threshold, minimum threshold number, and this doesn't sound like it. This actually, if it's happening annually, that sounds like it should be
In the budget.
budgeted for.
That it was requested and we figured we'd leave it to the taxpayers, at this point. We can review it and look at rolling it into the operating budget if we so choose.
I'd like to have a motion for the radio capital reserve.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article P 2613.
Second. Second by Larry. All right, any further discussion?
Yeah, just to reiterate, I think this should be a budgeted item. I don't think it should be a CIP item, just because if it's happening annually and it's not within the minimum, contemplated threshold for a CIP item like a truck or something like that, then it's inappropriate for it to be a.
If it's reoccurring, it should be a budget item, from my point of view.
Isn't there a tax advantage to it being a capital improvement as opposed to an operating expense?
Not at a town level now.
Yeah, the only, I mean, generically speaking, the advantage of having a CIP, it allows us, the town, to charge impact fees with respect to certain types of,
Yeah,
for
but if it's reoccurring.
safety complex and stuff. But this as a CIP item kind of,
It's reoccurring.
yeah, it seems,
yeah, it's not a long-
it's not like,
Right.
I also believe part of the reason is because we're replacing three to four of them a year, so that it kind of falls into the threshold. I think the CIP threshold is what, 15 or is it 20?
I think it's tens of thousands. I think.
Might be more.
Yeah.
50,000. So
What 30 seems to be a number, but
Yeah.
I'm just opining at that point.
Once you
I think
start to replace the repeaters, you're talking $20,000 to $30,000 alone. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the handhelds are, yes, they're wear and tear, but when you start to get to the higher level architecture and infrastructure, it's
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for it being CIP, but this seems, we should probably revisit why we're doing it this way.
Motion's been made, second.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Thank you for your comment, Rich. Any further discussion? All in favor of the proposal? Any opposed? Any abstained? Thank you. So the next is Article P 26-14, Public Safety Communication Capital Reserve Fund for $80,000. This the tower, Jay?
this is not just the tower, it's the dispatch center. I know at some point there's going to need to be some work done in there. So it would, it's not just dispatch, but it's also the antenna that's out there. So it's planning for that. I know the chief is working on a plan. He's already gotten some grant money, but I
I'm
believe
sorry,
that.
which chief?
Oh, I'm sorry. The police chief has started to work on that, and we did get awarded grant money for communication upgrades, but that money at a federal level has been withdrawn, so, or it's not available. We still got the grant, but the funds aren't available at the moment, so.
All right, do I have a motion in regards to the public safety P 26-14 for 80K?
Make a motion to recommend P2614 for 80,000.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Margot. Any further discussion?
Just clarification,
Yeah.
50,000 is the CIP minimum. You know, it's in terms of planning, you know, what you're putting money away for. So you know, we should think about that going forward.
I know the tower's been an issue for a long time. Do we have any idea what the total financial cost is going to be to the taxpayer?
Not at this point, no.
I know it's been years we've been dealing with this, so.
But it's not just the tower, it's, there are other areas in town that the equipment needs to be upgraded, so.
Well, it's the whole picture. I mean,
Yeah.
the tower is an issue, a serious issue. The equipment is quickly becoming passe. You can't put new equipment on that tower. So CIP and all of us are going to have to address the big picture, and I think it's going to be bigger than what any of us want it to be.
Not to put you on the spot, Jay, any idea what's in that cash account, reserve account?
I do not know, don't have the number.
Sorry. All right. Any other comments? Yes, no.
So, I mean, the towers come up a lot, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. We also do communications for Atkinson.
Yes.
Dispatch, yep.
So has there been any discussion with the potential upgrade of our services? Will they see any impact with, will we have to raise our fees for servicing their communications? Or are we going to maintain what we have now? I don't know what the
Yeah.
plan is moving
So I
forward.
believe within the last year, the town manager renegotiated that contract with Atkinson, and it has increased. So based on that, you know, we get more back from Atkinson at this point than we had in the past.
And was that done in reflection of potential work or just in general to offset rising costs?
In
and
general,
inflation?
I believe,
Okay.
not in anticipation of communication upgrades, so.
We have a motion. Any other comments or questions regarding this warrant article? All right, all in favor of P 26-13?
14.
14.
I'm sorry, 14,
14.
for 80,000?
All in favor.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Thank you.
5.
Yeah. So the next is P 26-15, police vehicle capital reserve for 80,000. I believe the police department has a reoccurring
Yeah,
retiring vehicle.
the last couple of years, we've worked with the police department to put in a program for replacing vehicles. Utilizing this fund, we just replaced 2. So they'll be looking to replace a 3rd vehicle next year. And I've asked the question, is that going to cover based on what we're expending? So that should cover what we have. We'll utilize most of the funds that are in there for the 2 that we're just purchasing now. So whatever's left over will help go towards the next vehicle.
So when a vehicle is retired, what happens to that vehicle?
A couple things. A, it could be retired, and so we auction it off. Or B, we can repurpose it within the town.
Like to the planning board or to another committee? When you auction it, those funds go into the general fund, correct?
Yes.
Make a motion to recommend Article P 2615 Police Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund for $80,000.
Second.
So second, okay. Any discussion in regards to the police vehicle? How many vehicles does the police department currently have, do you know, Jay, operating? Okay, I'm sorry to put you in the bullseye here.
I think that's 11
11?
or 12.
Is that counting the 2 new ones that we've purchased, but we don't have in hand?
That would be auctioning off 2 and replacing it with 2. So,
Because when somebody says current to me, I look at it as what's available in front of me right now. That's
Like-
why I wanted to ask.
we haven't gotten the new ones yet, but we still have the old ones, which are out of service.
Correct.
Yep.
All right, any discussion in regards to P 26-15? All right,
Jay,
go ahead,
Jay,
Larry.
question on the, maybe Nolan, I don't know who best, but in the CIP, is there a life cycle management process called out for vehicle management and replacement?
So, you know, we do annual maintenance, try to get the best, keep them up to speed. But the number that we look at is around 100,000 to 115,000 miles where we look to replace them. Because it's not just the mileage that we look at, it's the idle time, the run time. As I mentioned last week, it's, you know, I don't know, is it 30 to 40 miles per hour? The idle time adds 30 miles onto that. So if they're running at 13,000, their idle time is 13,000, you know, times 30, that adds to the mileage. So the ones that we just replaced, I think were 107 and 112, somewhere around there.
Is that number called out in the CIP plan on the schedule of work that's
I
coming
believe
forward?
it is. I'd have to go back and
I'll
take a
check
look,
that.
look at the last
If
document.
I remember correctly, it was just mentioned that basically they consider the lifespan of a vehicle between 100 and 115,000 miles. But I don't recall a specific schedule, like rotating, you know, we're putting this one into service and we're retiring it at this one. I think it was just stated that was the lifespan of each vehicle.
Thank you. Thank you.
The police, when they were there, they gave us a schedule. I can share that with you guys. It just tells you what vehicles we have, how many miles they have on it, when they were purchased, what year they are, stuff like that. It doesn't have the idle time, but let me see if I can.
It'd be nice to have, because then you
Yeah.
can kind of start to articulate what's our forward costs, starting to look at the number of vehicles and
Right.
use.
So this year it was 2, next year it's 1. I think it's going to be 1 after that. So the next couple of years we're looking to replace 1 a year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion in regards to Article P26-15? All right, all in favor of Article P26-15 for 80,000? Any opposed? Any abstained? Right, the next article is P26-16 for Cemetery Special Maintenance Expendable Trust Fund for 25K. I know needs to be landscaping and stones that need to be replaced and such, and fencing and.
Yes, so this fund was used for the expansion of the cemetery. So over the last couple of years, we've expanded the footprint of the cemetery. I almost called it the library, sorry. And this year, they're just plotting out the grid for the plots. And so there's, there'll be graves, and then there'll be also cremation spots as well. So the last phase of this is going to be probably some minor work and, maybe fencing in the area or signage, stuff like that. So it's going to be typically used for the last phase of this. But also there is some, but that was into the operating budget. So we talked about some damaged stones. So I think we increased the operating budget for the cemetery to address some of that issues next year. So this is mainly for the expansion of the cemetery itself.
Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to recommend Article P-26-16, the Cemetery Special Maintenance Expendable Trust Fund for $25,000.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the proposed warrant article? Any opposed?
530. What was the number on that?
5-3.
530.
Yep, so the next is the police officer traffic enforcement of 75K. I did watch you guys, Jay. You guys do a great job. Because you guys went into detail about why it should be 1 versus 2. Was the original proposal 150K for this?
For 2.
For 2?
Yeah, originally it was for 2. And to, just to Nolan's point, this didn't come from the CIP. This came from the selectmen and the town manager. The original warrant was for 2 officers, and those 2 officers would mainly be for traffic enforcement only. Because there are situations where we have police officers that are
Taken off the road.
they may be doing traffic enforcement, they may be just doing calls, but we can't have a dedicated person. We can put them there, but they may not be there all day. They'll get called out here and there and everywhere. And if someone is being arrested, then there needs to be 2 police officers. So there's typically 2 vehicles out on a given shift. There might be 3 if there's some overlap on the schedule. But we hemmed and hawed about this. We thought maybe see if taxpayers would have an appetite for 1 and see what their feeling is. And this person would mainly be used for traffic enforcement.
Well, there is a cry from the public that I see in regards to traffic control. Because whether you're on 108 Main Street, East Road, Sweet Hill Road, doesn't matter what side
Doesn't
street.
matter what street you're on, nobody pays attention.
People are doing 45 and a 25. God forbid Paul at school going through.
Get tractor trailers off of Pollard Street.
Yeah, but it's great to manage traffic control for safety, but any traffic tickets that are issued don't go back to the town, they go to the state. But it's more of a safety concern, not a revenue driver.
So is this one individual to work like day shift, evening shift, mids? Are they going to rotate this?
Well, the thought process with the 2 was to have someone that could be available during the day or early morning, evening, and then there might be, the second person might be for the overnight traffic enforcement, but, or staggering those shifts. But, we ended on one to see.
So I guess I didn't ask my question well. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
So let's just say they hire me and the only thing I'm going to do is traffic enforcement. Or is it a spot for a traffic enforcement officer?
It's a spot for a traffic enforcement officer. If it was you, you would be, wherever the chief put you to do traffic enforcement. And, if there's and I'll just say it because, if there's a catastrophic emergency and they need all the police officers there,
Absolutely,
that
you
person's
go.
going to
You
get
send everybody
pulled.
and you call mutual aid
Right.
if you need.
So, but mainly their duty is going to be traffic enforcement.
So this individual could be hired and he could have a staggered shift of Thursday, Friday is prime time from 3 to 11. And Saturday and Sunday is prime time from 9 to 6.
Right. Whatever schedule the chief comes up with for that person.
Any other questions regarding
Yeah,
that?
we currently have a fully staffed police department,
22,
correct?
23, yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, so we do. And, traffic calming and Main Street is a big concern, but, it isn't 24/7, all right? And I think it's sort of a false narrative to say that we need a dedicated police officer on, for doing traffic calming, for 24 hours. All right, that's not, I don't think that's how you do things. You direct police where they need to be when at the time that you need them. And if something comes up, that person, that's what we have a dispatch for. And, so you're doing traffic, whatever, and then you have to go to Walmart. So you go to Walmart. You're directed to go to Walmart. So, if it's a question, have we tasked the police department, like, please come up with a plan and report back to the Board of Selectmen, how are you going to address speeding on Main Street? All right, and then what that looks like. Why does it automatically mean that from a fully staffed police department, you need to be more fully staffed to do something that's, you have periodic and episodic speeding that happens during the day?
So yes, we've asked for more enforcement. I know the chief is working with the state police on trying to get some more assistance down here to help us. So, it's something that.
With respect to DOT, that would address the truck issue, I would think.
Yeah, that might be part of it,
Right.
is addressing the trucks. But, yes, we have asked. And, again, there's only so much they can do and they get pulled away, right? So this would be a dedicated person to help calm traffic.
If we talk to the county, I'm sure, the contract of, let's say, we've done it with, where you have somebody from the county, the sheriff's department, whatever, to say that we want, traffic enforcement on Main Street, and these are the hours, you can talk to the police chief, he'll say when you need them.
And I believe that's what the police chief is currently working on with the state police.
Right. But so in other words, there's not a necessity to have to go and employ, full-time employee, train them up, equip them, and pay benefits and such when there's a mechanism for sort of an ad hoc type arrangement with other enforcement agencies that would probably, want to talk to you about it.
Right, but just because the chief is talking to the state police about assistance doesn't mean they can give it, right? They're stretched thin as well. So, I don't know at this point what the plan is. I know he's in talks with the county and the state police and to come up with a solution. So,
yeah. So, without that information, without knowing that type of due diligence is happening, I think this is, sort of gratuitous to say that you need to now staff, because you're not going to employ a full-time police officer and then say that this is somebody he or she only does traffic enforcement. They're
That's,
gonna,
that's
so-
what the warrant article says, that officer will do traffic enforcement.
Yeah, I don't, that seems a little,
Right, but so how did this warrant become, how did this warrant article become? What was the purpose and who generated it?
Outside of what the police chief's trying to do now, myself and other selectmen, we've had a lot of people reach out to us about traffic, trying to do as much traffic enforcement as we can, but there are some limitations, so we thought we'd leave it up to the voters if they wanted
So there-
another officer that would be dedicated to traffic enforcement.
So when this warrant article was established at 150K, who created that budget of 150K?
The town manager put the warrant article together.
Okay.
So
And the board of selectmen reduced it to 75 because you were concerned about the burden. But at the end of the day, the taxpayer has ultimate say when they get to the ballot.
I mean, just,
sorry, Nolan.
well, sorry.
Go ahead,
I
Nolan.
mean, just to echo, I think this is kind of an affront to the taxpayers. I mean, I'm obviously all for traffic enforcement. I mean, I've wanted the town to take over. I feel a lot of the issues could be solved if the town took over North Ave 125 by themselves. And, the state, dealing with the state has been 10 years. So, I mean, anytime government gets involved, it's more headache than solutions, in my opinion. I mean, we could take this over and solve it. I don't want to say solve it. We could dramatically reduce it very quickly. For years, the response to not being able to enforce traffic is that we have not been fully staffed. Now it's a classic case of, a bait and switch. Now we're fully staffed, and now being fully staffed, we can't do it. It should fall in the purview of traffic enforcement. Traffic enforcement is not a 24-hour job. It is, like you stated, it could be done in spurts here and there, and I understand that people are going to get pulled off. You can't have someone sitting on the same street every day. People are going to, you need to move around. But it's like this, if we can't do it with a fully staffed police department, I think we have larger issues.
And no, and I don't disagree with you on taking ownership of those two roads, but what I'm hesitant about on taking ownership of those is the cost to maintain those for the taxpayers, because then now we're on the hook for fully plowing and salting, road maintenance.
For 2 miles?
Down the road, it's gonna, there'll be some costs associated with taking that over. That's all. I'm just hesitant about taking ownership for those reasons. That's all.
I mean,
Go ahead, Larry.
Jay, is this a temporary position for one calendar year, or will this be an increase to the operating budget in 2028?
This would roll into the operating budget if it's approved.
And the 75,000, that's for 6 months, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. It just, just going on in the anecdote lane one more time.
So that would
Okay.
be in the voter's guide. The detail around that would be in the voter's guide.
Okay.
I move that we,
There's just one more.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's, just as historically, when prior to, when heroin became really cheap, apparently, all right, we started experiencing a number of years, a series of break-ins where people would break into houses during the day, all right, steal stuff, fence it, for drugs and things like that, and at the time, I think the outcry was that, you could see it happening where someone would have a house broken in, 2 days later, the next house gets broken in, 3 days later, it gets broken in again. And, the argument was that, hey, you should really probably have some sort of, you should be patrolling during the day, all right? Because these things are happening during the day, right? So then there was sort of a push that whatever your patrol schedule is, you don't have to patrol 24/7, but you readjust and you push the patrols out where now you're visible. Now you're seeing people that maybe, you got a car that shouldn't be there during the day, et cetera, right? And so I think this is a sort of thing here too. You don't need a dedicated traffic officer for 6 months. You just need to adjust the resources that you have and use it prudently to address the fact that we have speeding at certain times, and we want to ameliorate that.
All right, thanks, Rich. So we have a motion from Larry. Do we have a second?
Well, I think
I didn't
He didn't
finish it,
do
but I motion that we recommend Article P2617 for the sum of 75,000.
I second it.
All right, do we have any discussion? All in favor of the proposal? Any opposed?
6-2.
Thank you. Now, this will go to the taxpayer, so the taxpayer's ultimate say on whether or not they accept that. So the next is mowing and upkeep of Route 125 islands.
So in regards to taking ownership, we're not enforcing the state. We're not how are we not? I made a public comment on Facebook about this one. I was quite stunned that we're not enforcing the town, the state to go mow the grass. Are we going back by any chance, or is
They
it
have a schedule where they come to Plastow twice a year and do the medians, and that's what they give us.
twice a year?
Yep.
Perfect.
And I made a joke the other night, but we say have a weed whacker, and it looks somewhat cleaned up when they mow it. We could take it back, but it's.
I just think, in
There's a
regards to
cost
taking ownership,
associated.
we're setting precedents that, hey, that they're gonna cut the grass. Now they're gonna plow it. Right? And I think this sets us up for a bad position. The state needs to be accountable and do their job if they are gonna own that stretch. And if not, they should allow us to bill it back.
That's a good point.
Talk to legal.
I don't.
It's a catch. I get it. It's a catch-22. It's a safety issue.
I don't anticipate this will go, but
I mean, I don't know how
we
much.
want to put it out to the taxpayers because there's been a lot of outcry about the maintenance. So,
I mean, didn't we?
So the Board of Selectmen voted 0 to 5 on this.
correct.
Yep.
And I think the average person in town doesn't understand, for instance, what is a state road and who's supposed to take care of it, and what is a town road and who's supposed to take care of that.
And the repercussions.
And if it is a state road, how difficult it is to get something changed, like that stretch of North Main Street by the town forest. They've been 15 years trying to get that passing zone taken out of there. It took 15 years. It's utterly ridiculous. I had joked more than once that I'd go in the middle of the night and paint it myself. I don't think people understand how complicated this is, and I don't think we as a town should do it. To hell with how it looks.
The Board of Selectmen was very clear on their position on this. So, any other discussion before I have a motion on this?
I think if we're gonna,
Go ahead, Larry.
Has the state said anything about if we just concreted those medians over,
We'd have to pay for it.
we couldn't tell them hey, twice a year is not enough. Could you just concrete it?
When they did that project, it was asked that it was created. The former fire chief fought tooth and nail not to have bark mulch, which is what they put down initially. I cannot tell you how many people whipped cigarettes out in the middle of the summer, and there were fires in the middle of 125. This has been a headache since design stages.
So government at its best.
Prior to my time, there was an agreement made that the town would take over maintenance of it once they put it in. So, that agreement lapsed and we gave it back to them.
Okay.
So they've been doing it for the last 2 years.
Sorry, Rich.
yeah, I think, just sort of comment wise, I mean, it's a state road, yes. And we've said that there's a lot of difficulties with maintaining it if we were doing it, but 111 is also a state road. And, so Wyndham seems to have solved the problem of respect as you go into Wyndham, and you got the rail trail. It's a nice little bridge, and welcome to Wyndham. and it's, you know,
'Cause
pleasantly manicured.
Wyndham pays someone to do that work.
Well,
The town of Wyndham pays a
I don't know
contractor
what the
to maintain
mechanism is.
those. That's why they look so beautiful.
all right, so they are maintaining it.
Town,
And
yeah.
yeah, they are maintaining it. I mean, at one point, I think there used to be bushes and, you know, shrubberies and things like that in the middle, and then we ripped them out. That I don't think the state did. We went and pulled it out.
Yeah, and put grass down.
Huh?
And put grass down,
Yeah.
because that was the plan. The previous town manager came up with the plan to take it over and put grass in it and mow it.
That worked well.
Yeah, it just, you know, this doesn't, I mean, I understand, you know, it looks like somebody put this together, but, you know, I think there should be more thought into it, that if you wanted to make it aesthetically pleasing, you know, maybe we find out what other people are doing, how much they're paying. It is a state road and theirs is a state road. So, you know, we don't mow stuff anymore. We contract our mowing already out. I think there was to the tune of 80,000 or something like that.
Well, the
Already.
medians, when we were doing it,
No,
highway
before, I
did it.
mean, other stuff that we do. We don't even do our own mowing now.
No, there's a contractor that does
Okay.
that.
So, yeah, I'd wonder where does this 100,000 number come from then, you know?
Yeah, so who puts together?
It's based on what we pay the current landscaping people to do the mowing that we pay for now. It's about $90,000. So if we wanted someone to maintain the medians as much as the contractors maintain the town facilities, it's probably around $100,000.
Nolan, go ahead.
Wasn't the shift from public mowing to private entities because partially because we weren't fully staffed in the
At the
highway department?
Yep.
And now that we're fully staffed, are we going to shift some of that responsibility back to the highway department?
That's something we're going to look at. Yeah.
The 26 budget.
Okay, so, but this wouldn't reflect that?
No.
No. Okay.
So Dan at the highway department just hired a full-time employee within the last 60 days.
Yeah. Within the last
After the budget was.
month, maybe less.
Any other discussion in regards to the upkeep, 125?
So I was going to make a motion.
Go for it.
I motion we do not approve
Must be in
Article
the
P
affirmative.
2618 for a sum of $100,000.
So it's a improper motion. You would
think
have
you
to,
have
you have
Have
to
to be in the
motion, to-
positive.
You got to make a motion to recommend it,
and then you can vote it down.
and then we all vote it down.
The same as the BOS did,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys had the same conversation.
So it's a motion to,
Recommend, but then you're going to vote no.
Then it's voted pass.
all right.
Motions have to be.
I motion that we recommend P 2618 for the sum of $100,000.
Thank you, Larry.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Unanimous.
Unanimous. So I hope the voters understand the purpose of this. So I don't know if, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, the next one has nothing to do with the budget. It's a $5 fee per vehicle.
Yeah.
Do we vote? We don't
Does the
vote.
vote, the budget committee have to vote on that?
You guys don't have to vote on that. It's not a cost item.
Do you want to take 30 seconds to explain that, what that is for the people that didn't watch the budget, the Board of Selectmen meeting?
So what this is there's a mechanism through RSA 261, 153, 6 that we can add a $5 fee per registration. And those fees would be placed into a transportation fund that would be utilized for upkeep and maintenance of the roads. Whether that's replacing the snow blower that we use to snow blow the sidewalks, or to fix sections of sidewalks in town, or to add sections of sidewalks in town, or to maintain the traffic calming that could potentially be happening on Main Street. So what will happen is, if the state comes in and they come and do the traffic calming at some point in time, we have to maintain the curbing, the drainage. There's a cost associated with that. It's great that they're going to come in and spend the money to fix it, but the long-term plan is the town has to take the maintenance of it. Doesn't mean we're plowing it, it just means we're taking the maintenance of the upkeep of the drainage and the curbing and the sidewalks. So this would help allow us to put funds aside to utilize towards that upkeep. Also, this isn't just, it's obviously going to affect residents, but also commercial vehicles as well.
Do you know how many registered vehicles we have in town?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I do not know exactly off the top of my head, but I think the revenue sheet that we had, she's somewhere up $900,000 to $1 million in revenue based off of car registrations and other fees that she collects.
Would this include motorcycles and boats as
Trailers,
well?
campers, yeah.
Yeah. Any types of registrations for
No.
vehicles.
All right, it's not just trying to attend.
$10 for motorcycles?
No, because this town's already killing me enough. The answer is no.
Well, we don't get to vote on it. I just wanted clarity because I know you guys did talk
More sense.
about it.
Yeah.
All right, so any old business, new business that we haven't covered yet tonight, guys? So our next meeting is 1:13 unless something changes. It's a public hearing where we have to finalize the budget for the public prior to the deliberate. I think we covered all the warrant articles. Thank you all for being here tonight. I know today was a long meeting.
And you went past 8 o'clock, Doug. Who are you?
At bedtime. All right, so let's adjourn at 8:23 PM.